What's up, y'all? This is another episode of Ralph in the Basement, and today's topic is going to be liar, liar. And let me tell you, liars are really interesting people. But before we even jump in, I also need to take a moment to be more authentic, especially for everybody that's watching. And I think it's really important, especially for the people that have watched Real Housewives of Atlanta and may have their different opinions. I've seen the comments. People have said, hey, it looks like Ralph and Drew are lying. People have said that, scenes with us look cringy. And let me tell you, I couldn't agree more because some of the times I watch it, and let me tell you, I'm saying things that I could not say before while we were a unit and together. But now that we're going through this divorce, you can't deport me, baby. I'm talking my talk. I got a lot to say and get off my chest too. But it's all gonna be positive stuff, some of it. Um, but listen, but it's all going to be real and authentic at the same time. One of the things that I will definitely go and say is I don't believe that Drew and I show up on reality TV the way that we show up in real life. And it bothers me. It's bothered me for the last 4 years because, you know what I'm saying? I've seen Drew cry more on reality TV than I've seen her cry in real life. Like, it's kind of crazy, but I understand it. I understand the game, you know? I mean, it's a play damsel in distress mode, and then but that damsel in distress, it works really well because it gets people to pull on your heartstrings, and then all of a sudden people empathize with you. Me, I'm just who I am. Like, I'm not an actor at all. I, I'm just showing up as Ralph, and love me or hate me, whatever it is that you feel, this is how I'm gonna be because that's the only person I know. You know what I'm saying? This is how I'm not gonna say this is how my mama made me, but this is how I got it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? And I love myself and I'm authentically me, and I'm happy about that. That's all I can really ask for. Things I care about is my character and my integrity, and that's something that I can't go and change. But at the same time, you know, I understand that there's some things that I should have also learned. And I think one of my big regrets, even dealing with my marriage, is that I should have gotten acting lessons from Drew. I think we would have showed up differently. All right, I'm gonna give you an example, right? We had this scene that was amazing, right? It was just recent. I came upstairs from my parenting time, and mind you, reality TV dictates what happens in your real life, right? And so, of course, it's my parenting time. I'm coming up to be with the kids. It's my weekend, you know. I go upstairs, and all of a sudden, she asks me a question. She tells me she wants to have a conversation with me about something, and then all of a sudden, she blindsides me and says, Ralph, you're supposed to pay for the exterminator." And I'm like, "Wait, what?" Now, of course, if you say something that's capped to me, you're going to get a reaction just because that's who I naturally am. And on top of that, it doesn't sit well with me. My natural facial response is going to be like, "What are you talking about?" You know? And that right there is exactly how you can pull me in. And so I kind of, from my perspective, this is how it goes in her mind. It goes, "All right, Ralph, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go and do something that I know is gonna trigger him. He's gonna say something and it's gonna turn out bad. And then that's gonna give me my opportunity to cry. And that's going to get the people going. And people are going to feel so bad for me and want to wrap their arms around me. And it works for her. She's amazing at it. She's the best in the business. Matter of fact, and so this is how the scene went. It was like, hey, you know what, Ralph? You're supposed to pay for the exterminator. I'm like, no, I'm not. It's like, well, yes, you are. My attorney said it. I'm like, and then plus, I got a lot of things, that'll take some things off my plate. I'm like, what do you have on your plate? It's just an honest question. What do you have on your plate that's stopping you from paying this $100? I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? It's really not even much. And I don't really care about the money because $100, bro, let me tell you, I waste $100 as soon as I open my eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like $100 goes very fast. It's nothing really to me. Of course, in the scene, it's cut short. At the end, I actually said, well, give me the number. I'll call him. Then she gets in the car and says, and he just came upstairs, and he never comes upstairs during his parenting time. He just comes up to the driveway. I never see him. And I'm like, yes, I do. I always come upstairs during my parenting time. I mean, that's kind of the whole idea. I'm sure the producers told you I was coming upstairs. I mean, like, look, at the end of the day, they're in the house. They want to make sure they capture a scene of us in our living dynamic. Was that really a moment to cry? Because we talking about the exterminator, which we shouldn't even be talking about because at the end of the day, it's all about the kids. I don't care about nothing else. She could put that junk in an app, you know? She can give me a note. She can do anything. That's not something to even talk about on reality TV. But now, if she taught me how to act, I would have done it different. It would have been something like, she would have been like, Ralph, you're supposed to pay for the exterminator. I'd be like, you know what? You're right. You should. And I apologize for not knowing that already. And what else? Because you are my moon, my sun, my stars, my guiding light. And I will simp out for you in any way that I need to. And then she'll be like, oh my God, he's amazing. What can I do for you? You know, it could be something like that. Then scenes probably wouldn't be cringy. But she didn't teach me, she didn't give me acting lessons. That's the one thing. I should have probably got those acting lessons. It's the one thing that I did not get in this divorce that I'm kind of mad about. Damn, I should have got those lessons because they probably would pay off. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back into focusing on the topic of this episode, liar, liar. So there's multiple types of liars, right? You have your first kind of liar, who is the person that wants to avoid taking accountability for different things. Typically, they don't want you to see them a certain way. And so they'll go and pose a lie to save face, to make sure that you don't see them in a negative light. That's really kind of what it is. They avoid looking bad. That's the whole thing. Avoid looking bad at all costs. And so they will lie to you in order to do so. And so a lot of people have done it. Matter of fact, I would say probably the majority of people in the world everybody has probably lied one time in their life. I've done it. I've had my instances. And really, I'm going to be real with you. I'm not at a point to where I don't even look at liars in a very negative way, depending on the kind of lie, and depending on if it hurts me or not. But I look at liars and I kind of laugh at them because I can see why they're lying, and I can look through a lie really quick. And first, I'm an Aquarius, one, right? But also, I grew up in the school of hard knocks. I went through my own challenges learning on, I had to get lied to in order for me to become a good lie detector, right? So, matter of fact, talking about my own experience, when I was in high school, something that a lot of people may not know, if you know who I really am, though, I used to be a tow truck driver when I was in high school. And so, being a tow truck driver in high school, I wanted a car. And of course, I work around a bunch of people that tow cars on a daily basis. And so as I was in this, and mind you, I told you, I came from the bottom, right? I earned everything. I earned everything that I have. And as I was doing this job, I had a guy come to me. He was like, yo, Ralph, I know you're looking for a car. And I mean, you know what I'm saying? Another black dude, real cool. I'm not going to out his name, but you know who you are, bro. Dude came to me. He was like, hey, listen, Ralph, I know you're looking for a car, man. Look, I got a car for you. My boy, my cousin, he's about to, he got a situation going on. So they got an extra car that they need to go and get rid of. And you know what I'm saying? So I can get this car for you for like $500. I was like, word. And he was like, yeah, look, this is what it is. Da, 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 da. Look, I can go and get it for you. I'm going to bring it to you, XYZ. He's a tow truck driver. We work together. I'm thinking that, everything is good. I give him the money. Yo, dude quits. Never see him again. I'm like, God damn. Yo, so I tell another dude about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, man, dude just took my money and ran off. I don't even know where he at. He was like, man, that's real whack, yo. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, look, I got somebody that got a car too. You know what I'm saying? Look, I'm gonna go and get this car for you, whatever like that. It's a sob. Showed me the pictures. You know what I'm saying? Everything. Talk to me about the person. It's like, look, I'm about to go and grab it right now and get it to you. Like, it's gonna be just, I'm gonna get it for you for the low. He was like, yo, I'm gonna get it for you for $450. It's all wheel drive and everything. Everything checked out. You know what I'm saying? Yo, I gave him the money. He left also. I was like, ain't this about a bitch? Everybody's still, yo, I'm in high school. I'm naive. Mind you, I don't know people. I'm first and foremost, I'm the youngest dude probably ever to work there. And I'm working with a whole bunch of grown men, 30 years old. And I'm like 17, 18 years old. You know what I'm saying? I'm young, I'm not used to buying cars and having transactions, nor am I used to getting played by people that's grown, that's old enough to be my daddy. You know what I'm saying? So I just didn't see it coming. But when that happened, man, it goes into the fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me. I'm telling you, that experience changed my life. I got to a place where I was like, yo, I can never, ever in my life have this happen again. And I'm glad it happened because I think these dudes, both of y'all, If I see you on the street, though, it's a different story. I owe you one. But I thank God at the same time because y'all helped me become the man I am today. Because the amount of money I make now is wild compared to what I lost by what y'all told me. That lesson that y'all told me and y'all taught me was invaluable. Y'all taught me to make sure that, and that's it, right? I'm telling you, if you want to get wiser and smarter, this is the thing about what God does in your life as well. I mean, like, this is what God does, right? If you ask God to become wiser and smarter, then God is going to put people in your life to give you challenges, right? Or he's going to bring storms to you to make you smarter so you know how to navigate different situations. That instance that what I went through allowed me to get smart. I'm like, nah, nobody will ever be able to play me ever again. It's just different levels as you go higher and higher and you start to climb because, man, as you go higher and you climb the ladder, you got to be fit. You're going to be faced with different devils that you've never seen before. That's the one thing about climbing the ladder. It gets lonely as you get to the top because not as many people can relate to you, but you deal with different demons. And you need to know and figure out how to navigate those. And a lot of the times you got to learn how to navigate the demons at the level you currently at before you can go to that next level and think you're going to be able to be a boss there. You can't do it. This is why you got to go and conquer where you currently are. So listen, going forward, at the end of the day, it's different liars, right? So you got the type of liar that they'll lie to you because they want something from you. They want to take advantage of you, but they want to change their situation. They're going to use you as a stepping stone to get what they need. That's a classic instance why people lie. Does that mean that they're bad people? Sometimes, and sometimes not. I'm gonna be real with you. Real talk. I actually am not mad with a liar that can come to me and actually be real because it's a matter of how you handle the situation and the context of why you lied, right? So if you did something because you didn't want to look bad, you didn't know exactly how I was going to react to a situation, but you can come clean and be like, "Look, Ralph, man, I messed up. You know what I'm saying? I apologize. I understand my mistake." And you can show empathy for it and also promise that you'll never do it again and tell me exactly how you will never do it again, you know? Because I already know. I figured you out. You know what I'm saying? Let me know what the play is and what the plan is. I'm going to listen to it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm going to figure out how I'm going to treat you from there and I'm going to take it from there. So you got that one that actually apologizes, but you got the other ones, the other liar. Yo, they 10 toes down. They taking that lie to the grave. They never going to admit that they are wrong or they did something or they swindled you. You got those liars and they's 10 toes down. Y'all know some of them. You know what I'm saying? And I know them as well. So it's funny also to me when somebody lies and they act as if I don't know that they're doing it. Like, but they know they got their junk together. Yo, I know somebody that lied to me and they'll change their story as they're talking. And so your story is changing as you actually are going through it. I'm like, oh, so this is this the final version? It's wild to hear it. All right, cool. All right, bet. So this is what you want me to believe. Bet. Got it. And so I'll listen to it. You know what I'm saying? It is just absolutely hilarious. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, that's the kind of liar. That's one particular type. You got the second type of liar. Now, this second type of liar is extremely dangerous. This second type of liar is the one that will say whatever they need to say to you because they want to manipulate you to get their own way, right? It's not really a lie to save face and to avoid looking bad. It's more, I'm going to lie to you because I want you to treat me a different way, you know? Matter of fact, it's I call them, I call it Little Red Riding Hood, but, and a lot of people have done it because a liar has been done way before, before we came into this world, like at the end of the day, people have been doing it a long time. And there's been books about, but I call them Little Red Riding Hood. Jussie Smollett got it. You know what I'm saying? Carly Russ, name. Hey, they are those particular type of liars. And just for people that don't know the story of Little Red Riding Hood, right? Little Red Riding Hood went out and would go and say, "There's a wolf. The wolf is trying to get me." And all the townspeople come in to go to kill this wolf. And she's coming back. It was so scary. It was so scary. I had to run. I was running for my life. I'm like, oh my God. And they're all just wrapping their arms around him, you know? And then all of a sudden she went out and did it again, right? Why did she do it again? Because she liked the attention. I call it damsel in distress, right? Y'all know some of these kind of people. damsel in distress is they love it's something that they get from being a damsel in distress. It's actually a satisfaction and a joy to be that because you get a lot of empathy. You get you know, you get treats, you get flowers, you get people that call and check on you. It's a lot of different things that get the emotional bonding that you get from people that want to just be there for you that you don't get if you're just living your regular life. So it really actually feels good for people to be a damsel in distress, you know? And so they play into that particular role. I may know a couple people like that. All right. So I know some, but they play that particular role really, really well. But then all of a sudden, Little Red Riding Hood went back out there again. Oh my God, the wolf was out there. Oh, the wolf was out there. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, they went back out there. Oh my, we gonna get this wolf. All of a sudden, there's no wolf. Yeah, I was running. I scraped my leg and all this story. You know what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, you know, but the townspeople all of a sudden realize, yo, like she's lying to us. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, the last time she cried wolf, and there was an actual wolf, nobody went. They're like, we got you. Wolf ate her. Why? You typically get what you ask for at some point in time. You know what? Because I call it, this is a real thing, right? These type of liars also manifest whatever they ask for. And so if you ask to be this victim and you want to be this victim, typically you become that as well because it's the power of manifestation. So you always got to watch what you put out in the universe because whatever you put out in the universe, you're going to get and it's your fault. You got to take accountability for it. It's all on you at that point. You know what I'm saying? Nobody owes you nothing. So, but Little Red Riding Hood got what she deserved. She got ate up by the wolf because she actually went and cried for the wolf. She wanted the wolf to be there, and so the wolf was there. Got her. Listen, I've had those experiences also. That's a really dangerous type of a liar, though. That kind of liar actually can cause a lot of damage. But those liars also, a lot of the times, they get away with it. Why? Because it's really hard to prove. It's hard to prove that somebody wasn't a victim of something. Because how do you defend yourself? You know, how do you defend yourself when somebody actually has a lie about something that actually never really happened, but now it's your word against theirs? For the fellas, this is also why y'all got to protect yourselves. For the mothers of sons, this is also things that y'all got to go and tell y'all sons because y'all got to make sure that y'all sons don't get caught up in the game as well. Because a woman can go and tell and say, hey, you know what? He did this to me. And guess what? It's their word against yours. How do you prove that you did not do this thing that they said they did to you? And so, in a lot of these instances, men are guilty until proven innocent. And being proven innocent is really, really challenging, It hurts. So that's why I say, man, mothers of sons, make sure y'all teach y'all sons how people can try to manipulate them in a particular way or create a story to keep them safe, because it's hard when you have your word against theirs. And that's the real situation. Let me tell you, I'm gonna say I almost was a victim of this, and I am technically. I have definitely been there too. I've been there, but I had a situation with somebody I dated before. This is what she did, right? I had a situation where I had to go to work the next day. I was supposed to take her home from this party, and she was taking a very, very long time coming out. And so I sent her a text message, hey, I gotta go. I got a meeting at 5 a.m., for Europe. So I gotta actually go and make it home so that I can go and do whatever I need to go and do. Look, listen, this is what you can do. You can actually ride with your girl that lives around a corner from us. And then, she can take you home and then you're good. I gotta make it because she wasn't responding to me. I get the text message while I'm already at the house. All right, Ralph, I'm here. And I'm like, I'm already home, So all of a sudden she got upset, hung up on me and everything like that. I'm assuming that she's just going to come back to the house. What she did is she decided to go and create a whole story, right? She goes and finds, now mind you, I've always lived in really nice communities for the most part, So she goes and finds a dark road in a really expensive community with all millionaires, right? You know what I'm saying? And finds a dark road and goes and creates this whole entire scene and says, it's 5 a.m. in the morning and I'm all alone and I'm now walking in the dark and I'm so scared. Why would he do this to me? Oh. And then she went and stopped it and had another take. It's 5 a.m. in the morning and I'm all alone. How I know this is because I ended up getting the phone and I saw the takes. I was like, oh, she about to set me up. She about to set your boy up. God was on my side, because if that would have came out and it would have went to like TMZ or something like that, yo, I would have been cooked. Yo, I had to go to the police just to let them know, like, hey, let me tell you something. A situation just happened. The junk is not real. Here's the videos. This is take number 1, take number 2, take number 3. This is where the street that it happened. Hey, at the end of the day, the junk is cat. But if that would have gotten out to anybody or to the general public, it would have caused a major thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody would have went crazy. And of course, it would have been the whole entire Damsel in Distress, Little Red Riding Hood, Carly Russell. I don't know if, matter of fact, if the story actually would have came out and she would have went, it probably would, the police might have investigated it, you know? And then all of a sudden she would have probably went to jail. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Carly did. Matter of fact, Jussie did. Something happens. Let me tell you, not everyone gets away with playing that game. You know what I'm saying? Especially being that liar number 2. You don't want to be deceiving like that, because, but I get it. You want somebody to treat you right. And I believe the reason why they do that is because they want to inflict so much pain on you that it forces you to change. I'm gonna make you treat me the way that I want you to treat me. And how I'm gonna do it is I'm gonna create this story here, and this story is gonna force you to change. So it's either you could do it on your own, you could do it the easy way, or I'm gonna do it the hard way. Which one would you like? Typically, those plans backfire, though. Sometimes, not all the time, though. A lot of people end up in jail. Little history lesson here. It happened to Emmett Till. Look, she confessed on her deathbed that she made the whole story up. Like, guess what? She lied to go and make herself look good, and she created this story. Hey, look, this is what happened to him. I'm telling you, man, it goes back. This isn't nothing new. So, it's old tricks. New day, same old tricks. And you got to just make sure you protect yourself, because liars will lie. We just got to make sure we're doing a great job of, number 1, protecting yourself as a liar, and try to detect lies before they actually have any kind of impact. But as mentioned, I'm not really too mad about liars, the first category, as long as you don't lie and it impacts me in any kind of way. But once you impact my life, oh, we got a major problem. We got a major problem on our hands now. You know what I'm saying? We got to do something about it. Something got to change. But let me tell you, I would also say this. There are a lot of people that actually like to get lied to. So as everybody probably is like, man, I can't stand a liar, because that's what you hear. Like, I hate liars. But actually, do you really? Because I'm going to say this, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to just go and pick on women for a second. Women, you want to hear all of these great, sweet nothings sometimes. Tell me that I'm beautiful. Tell me that I'm attractive. Tell me that I look good. You didn't say anything good about my hair. You got all of these particular things and requests that you want. But what if the guy doesn't think that particular way at that moment? You didn't tell me that you love me. What if I don't love you today? What if I only just, what if I could just tolerate you today because we are beefing, or we had, a difference of opinions, or guess what? I don't think that you're very beautiful today because of whatever you have on, or I think that you may need to lose a few pounds. It could be anything. But the truth actually would hurt you. So some people are like, yo, you know what? Don't, tell me and lie to me like you lie to those other people. Don't bring me the truth, because the truth hurts. I know myself. I'm brutally honest. That's one of my big problems. So I'd rather just tell you the truth so that we don't play these games and you don't think that it's one thing versus another. Nah, let me just tell you exactly what it is, and then nobody's confused. You may not necessarily like the delivery, and I gotta work on that a little bit. I could be a little bit a little rough, a little too blunt, but at the same time, you can never say that Ralph didn't tell you. Matter of fact, I mean, that's a real good thing. Ask anybody from my past, I'm gonna drink to that. People, you don't have to lie. You don't have to lie. There's no real reason to do it, but I understand why some people may choose to. And so, number one, making sure that you understand and making sure, I will say this, like I said in the last episode, always focusing on what the expectations are and making sure everything is aligned. Therefore, you don't actually even have to be put in a position to lie. And also being very vocal and speaking about it, because if somebody's going to rock with you, they're going to rock with you. It doesn't matter what you're going through. They're going to be there to support you, but you got to communicate exactly what it is so that you give people the opportunity to be able to show up in your life the way that you need them to show up in your life, regardless of whatever it is. I also understand some people just are habitual damn liars. Like, they can't stop lying to help themselves. I don't even know. Sometimes they be like, hey, man, I'm related to Michael Jordan. Why would you say that? You know you ain't related to no Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? We all lived in we were living in Chicago. We would have went to his house. Like, never that never has that ever happened. Never. So it's like some people just like to just lie just for the sake of just lying. Like, and those, you got those people, I mean, at the end of the day, but understand how to navigate and who people are, that right there is the big thing. But also ask yourself, can you handle the truth? That's the big thing. Can you handle the truth? And do you want the truth? The real truth? Yo, until the next episode, hey, this is Ralph in the basement. Make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. This is Ralph, and I'll catch you in the basement.